honest opinions on the topics at hand. Once again, thanks for picking Highway 34 Connection.
The following podcast may use videos, pictures, news articles, and even audio from another channel. Highway 34 Connection doesn't own the rights to those. We will shout out who or where we get them for the podcasts. The only copyright is not us here at Highway 34 Connection. Please remember that all of our podcasts are unscripted, unfiltered, and unedited. Podcasts we do are pro wrestling talk, where we discuss the world of pro wrestling and give spoilers.
Talking football, where we talk about the current season of the NFL, XFL and USFL, where we give our thoughts on each week of gameplay. We also give our predictions on what teams will win each game.
Conspiracy theories, we sit down and talk about conspiracy theories and why we think something is real or just a theory.
Let's chat it up. This is a podcast where we just talk about random topics here on the channel. We could talk about anything, so please be warned, our podcasts are intended for mature audiences only.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to another episode of Conspiracy Theories. Yeah, it's Sunday, not Tuesday.
Hi,
I get it. But Apex.
How is it she's on and yet we don't get the notification that someone's watching?
It's delayed. But anywho, today's topic, Merlyn Monroe. So means Heidi's been doing all of the research, aka Dark Angel here. I will let her start this off.
Oh, no, you will not. Unless you don't mind.
Because, well,
the
thing is, I can't go back and forth because for some reason it's not doing it. So I can't go screen to screen like I normally do. So I can try. Nope. Yep. Maybe.
So what's
yep. Okay. I can hear. All right. I can hear now. So. Just pick a topic and run with it. I mean, we want to start from the beginning, or we can start right after. So it doesn't really matter. We can start after, or we can just go right into it.
Well, as most people know, Merlyn Monroe was the blonde bombshell in the early 50s and the 60s. Everyone knows her as probably the most popular sex symbol. Everyone's seen the famous picture with her with the
John F. Kennedy.
And we also know her as having an affair with the president. So, as most people know, she passed away in 1962 at the age of 36. She actually was really loaded for, especially being a female at that time. I mean, she grossed $200 million for that time frame, and this time, like, that's equivalent to $2 billion in our time. She was the American Film Institute in 1999 ranked her as the 6th greatest female screen legend from the Golden Age. So, however, but she did have a few. I mean, she may have been great on screen, but for someone who was so young, she had a lot of issues.
When did you say she died again?
1962. She was 36 years old. the cause of death was acute barbiturate poisoning. So a drug overdose. And they chalked her death up as a suicide. They actually chalked it up as a suicide. So the question is was it an overdose, or the possibility that she accidentally overdosed was ruled out because the dosage that was found in her limit were several times the lethal limit. So that's why they ruled that she actually suicided. So, well, it says here, the deputy coroner classified her death as a probable suicide. So, go on, take it from there.
I'm just noticing something here that I'm trying to read through. Okay, so there has nothing to do with any of that then. Okay. So the thing is about conspiracy theories, can you hear me at all?
Yep.
Okay, so the thing about conspiracy theories is they're called conspiracy theories because they want to believe that there's no truth to it. Well, the fact of the matter is that her diary is one of the things that was missing, and it went to the coroner's office with her, but disappeared after that, with no legal information attached, no nothing. Like, nobody absolutely knows what happened to this.
So the question is to you, sir. Oh, hi, Insidious's wife. How are you doing? I think Dark Angel actually hit the button and pooped out. Hold on. What is it? What happened?
I put her on the spot and shit, like.
What? You can't hear us? Is your speakers on? All right. Okay. Well. Apparently, she couldn't hear either one of us. And I texted you twice. Oh. No. But I can hear you. It says you can hear me, right? So it is?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
The funny thing is, this post here is from 1982.
So
that said they believe they found it.
So Insidious is mentioning that her diary was missing.
Yeah, it's still missing.
You want to weigh in on that? So apparently, according to Insidious, when her body was taken from the hospital, the hotel to the morgue, she had a diary with her. But somewhere at the morgue, it disappeared. Dark Angel says, "How do you know a staff just didn't see a famous person dead, saw the diary, and said, 'Ooh, famous person's diary'?"
Well, here's one. Well, I'm going to read something out here. This is from the CIA government. So this is off the actual CIA website. This is no joke. This is legit. A former coroner aide who claimed he was forced to sign Marilyn Monroe's death certificate said today a file on the actress was altered and that her diary disappeared from a safe.
Her diary
And
disappeared from a safe.
this was
From
August
where?
26,
The hotel safe or the work
1982.
safe?
Hold on a minute, I'm going to read this out. So this
1982.
is an actual record. This was put on by Ronald Clark. I don't know who he is. A former coroner aide who claimed he was forced to sign Marilyn Monroe's death certificate said today a file on an actress was altered and that her diary disappeared. So see, there's a safe. Lionel Gradison told a news conference he leafed through the diary and it contained references to a plot to kill Cuban leader Castro and also to President John F. Kennedy and a Senator Robert Kennedy.
Hold on,
he gave no details.
You're telling me that her diary... You're saying that her diary had a plot to kill Castro?
I don't think she was the one that was doing it. She gained the information and probably was about to leak it. And boom, death. But I'll read it again. A plot to kill Cuban leader Fidel Castro and also to President John F. Kennedy and to Senator Robert Kennedy. Kind of coincidence considering I don't know if the Cuban leader actually did get killed, but it is kind of coincidence that John F. Kennedy did.
Okay.
The only question is, that's probably something we should research up as we go on here.
Something's up with Heidi's volume on her phone. She can't hear a thing, and now I can't hear it. I think there's something wrong with her settings. She has it set wrong. I'm trying to fix it. So, just give me a minute.
Well, that is quite a coincidence now, isn't it?
Dang it. I hit the wrong button again. When I was playing,
is she using her headphones?
Well, it's not there. That should fix it. I just have to get back in. Oh, man. She had her third volume down, and for some reason it wouldn't let me turn it up. So I had to close everything out in order to get it to work. So it should work now. I just need to sign back in. Should be able to hear us now. Yep, now it works. Okay, let's try to start from scratch so Dark Angels can hear us. So you said, I'm sorry, Pixie. You can go to bed, I guess. I'm sorry for us having a really bad problem starting out. We had technical difficulties on.
So you want me to start this article over again?
If you don't mind.
That's fine. So, Dark Angel say no, this is from the CIA website. This is not off of Google.
I thought it was from the FBI.
That was the first one I read,
FBI or
but I
CIA?
realized that FBI was from a later date. This is actually from the CIA. This one here was postmarked 1982. So a former coroner's aide who claimed he was forced to sign Marilyn Monroe's death certificate said today a file in the actress was altered, that her diary disappeared from a safe. Lionel Grandison told a news conference he leafed through the diary and it contained references to a plot to kill the Cuban leader Fidel Castro, also said to President John F. Kennedy and to Senator Robert Kennedy. He gave no details. Miss Monroe died 20 years ago, age 35. Of what the coroner's office said, there was a self-induced overdose. Rewards of up to $100,000 were offered recently for the diary. Private Detective Milo Virgilio said he had evidence the diary included entries saying that Robert Kennedy told Monroe before she could reveal the plot. The diary was put into a safe one day, and when we opened the safe, the next day, it was gone. Grandison said he said in the days following the discovery of Miss Monroe's body in her Los Angeles home, people he believed were from the CIA came to the coroner's office. 3 or 4 people came into to investigate Marilyn's file. You can tell the difference between a police officer and into a heavyweight, said Grandison. Now, an activating executive, asked about his previous claim he was coerced into signing the death certificate. He said he was ordered to sign it, and it was impelled that if he didn't, he would be dismissed. He said he was reluctant to sign because of the absence of a report from coroners. Months after Miss Monroe died on a... Oh, wait, that was different. Okay. Sorry, I'm scrolling back and forth to get back to being, so it's taking me so long. The absence of the report from the coroner's suicide investigation and of reports normally available for inspection. He cited the file of Miss Monroe was altered several times, and a diagram of her body was removed from the file. Grandison said his arrest 6 months after Miss Monroe died on a charge of stealing a credit card may have been arranged. I was asking too many questions, he said. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office announced 2 weeks ago it was trying to establish the chain of events in the last 24 hours of Miss Monroe's life. The County Board of Supervisors requested the office to investigate claims made by Grandison said today he had still not been contacted by District Attorney's Office. The spokesperson for the office refused to comment and sanitized a copy of approval for release. And that's all I have on this one, but it does seem kind of funny that years later everything's coming out to light. She leave again?
I don't know what she did. Let me find out. Okay. Insidious?
Yeah.
All right. We're both here, and I'm going to keep an eye on it this time. Move. So, what you did here?
9
What do you
picks.
think? What do you think about the document I was reading that you did here?
That I didn't enjoy it. Someone was basically talking aside at that point.
So pretty much when it comes down to it, they believe that a plot was killing the Cuban president at the time and John F. Kennedy, and this all came in reports from Robert Kennedy. Well, the funny thing is, one of them actually happened. Well, two of them. It's kind of weird that not even a year later after she dies, Kennedy dies. Or was it 2 years? Or something like that.
It's 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. I thought so. So yeah, it is a little coincidence that something that was supposedly written in her diary that was untrue on one count, but on the other one was accurate.
So, what are you suggesting?
So it's kind of funny.
And
I mean, you can't say it's not.
the CIA did have attempts on Castro when he was first in charge.
Well, he didn't die until 2016.
Who? Castro?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he lived to a nice age. Yeah. I mean, he was like.
Or did they think it would be too much to go after him, knowing what was just released?
Maybe.
And they figured the other one was the best one, which would be the president. I mean, come on, two of them come to light when they're in newspapers. That's kind of coincidence. But the fact that you had Monroe killed first and then John F. Kennedy a year later, that's kind of weird. Do I think it's a coincidence CIA was involved? I would lean more towards the Secret Service than CIA, in my opinion. I mean, this is, like I said, again, my opinion. Um, so if we go back and look through more details, most of it revolves around the diary that's missing. I mean, that's the biggest one. And we have to admit, her films had grossed over 200 million by the time of her death. So imagine what they were after that.
Okay.
So in a way, if you look at it, anybody that had stock in her movies made a shit ton of money after she passed, because that movie sales went through the roof. Because it's like anything else. So that's going to be worth money now. So everybody would rush out and get them. I mean, even that day and age, it's the same as it is today, So, so we're going to go through this real quick. Monroe spent the day of her death, August 4th, at her home in Brentwood. She was accompanied at various times by publicist Patricia Newcomb, housekeeper Ernest Murray, photographer Lawrence Schiller, and a psychiatrist. Wow, interesting. She was visited by a psychiatrist.
Yep, and he discovered her body.
Well, it doesn't change it. Well, it doesn't. Well, that doesn't really not make sense. I mean, if she was suicidal,
But I'm looking at this though. She was accompanied various times that day by publicist, a housekeeper, a photographer, and a psychiatrist.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming from. So, did they rule all these people out just simultaneously? Like,
the toxicology proved that she had so much drugs in her system that it had to have been an intentional overdose.
Or an intentional, what better way than a psychiatrist? This will help take the edge off. Oh, that ain't working here. Let's give you another. Somebody you trust, you would let them do it. Am I right?
Probably drank alcohol with it, so there you go.
Exactly. So at Greason's request, Murray stayed overnight to keep Monroe company. So that's the photographer. No, that was the housekeeper, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
At approximately 3 a.m. Sunday, August 5th, Murray noticed that Monroe had locked herself in her bedroom.
And the light was on. She had this feeling that she had to go check on Mo and Monroe, and she did. And no response, and she saw the psychiatrist.
The psychiatrist had to break through the window to get into her room.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm not seeing that. Only thing I see here is Murray noticed that Monroe had locked herself in her bedroom and appeared to be unresponsive when she looked inside through a window. Murray alerted Greason, who arrived soon after entering. So why did she wait and immediately call her psychiatrist? Why did she not get into the room?
Maybe she couldn't.
The door was locked.
Well, you said she just said she went and looked through the window.
Okay, who is more liable?
Murray is the housekeeper, and Murray is the photographer.
Who's most likely not to get in trouble for breaking a window?
But I'm sorry, you see a person that appears unresponsive. Are you going to break the window or let them die? So it says here, Merlyn, that, okay, let me get back to her. Unresponsive when she looked inside through a window. Murray alerted Greason. So who was Greason? So Greason was the psychiatrist who arrived soon after. So she called him. So who knows where he lived and how long it took him to get there. That's where I'm saying it seems funny. Who arrived soon after, entered the room by breaking the window, found Monroe dead. Her death was officially ruled probable suicide.
Yep.
Based on information about her overdose and being prone to mood swings and suicidal ideation. No evidence of foul play was found. Accidental overdose was ruled out. What? No evidence of foul play was found and accidental overdose was ruled out. Accidental overdose, still the same. Because of the large amounts she ingested.
Right. Because there was so much in her system, they figured there's no way someone would accidentally give themselves that much. So that's why it went from an overdose to potential suicide. It's like she did that intentionally. Because an overdose is usually, like you said, is an accident. So, but it doesn't have to be. There's an accidental overdose, and then there's an intentional overdose. So they feel like this was intentional overdose. That's why it's a suicide. What? You know, something you don't find? What is it, Insidious?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you hear me?
Oh, I'm listening. Oh, really? Well, this just blew this out of the water, didn't it?
What'd you find?
Let me. Oh, all right. So, have you ever Googled the drug itself?
No.
I cannot. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not even going to try describing the name of this. So, I'm just going to read down what it is. Have largely been replaced by other ones, but its routine medical practice, particularly in the treatment of anxiety disorders, insomnia, because of the significantly lower risk of overdose and the lack of antidote for overdose. Despite this, the medicine is still used today for various purposes. In general, anesthesia, epilepsy treatment, acute migraines, cluster headaches, tension headaches, and assisted suicide. But the main one I'm reading here, you will not believe this. Capital punishment.
Are you what?
That drug is used for capital punishment.
Okay.
Capital punishment is also known as the death penalty.
No shit.
Or called judicial homicide.
What's your points?
What if she was a test dummy for it?
Because the drug in question, in small amounts, it's just someone, like you said, does the other things. They use,
but the amount in her system
was 4 times the lethal limit.
Exactly. What if she was, like I said, the guinea pig? What happens if we give this much, that much, and then switch out the bottles? Well, wouldn't that make sense? But no, let's hear me out. Wouldn't that not make sense though? That's why he was there first.
Can I ask you
Her
a question?
psychiatrist was there first.
Let me ask you a question. Why would you? Yeah, they've used people to test drugs on.
If the government paid you a shit ton of money to do this, and housekeeper maybe got a chunk of it as well. Now put it in this. Now just hear me out. Hear where I'm going. She looked unresponsive. She immediately calls the psychiatrist. Switch out the pill bottles. Looks apparent now, doesn't it?
I'm not gonna. I don't care how much money someone pays me. I'm not gonna put that much shit.
Oh,
in my
you
system.
wouldn't. But he's a psychiatrist. I mean, do we even know much about that guy afterwards? Probably not.
All right, wait. Why do it to someone who at the time was everyone's golden girl and not
exactly?
Would you let me finish? I mean, you're
But you're
Hollywood.
answering your own question. But you're answering your own questions
No,
as you're
I'm not.
talking. Listen to yourself.
Why do it to everyone's golden girl and not just some random hobo off the street? I mean, you're in Hollywood. There's millions of them.
Exactly. Hollywood. Actress. Everybody was going to benefit from her death. Everybody. Movie actor. I just told you how. Anybody. It's all stocks and bonds in Hollywood. If they have stock in a movie that did well or anything else, and those movies start selling because somebody dies, dude, they're profiting.
Yeah, but
everybody in Hollywood had something to gain of her death. That's how the elites get richer.
Yeah, but they can no longer make any more movies with her that could make money. I mean, look, if
they'll have to. When sales start dropping, you sell your stock. They just made more money than ever.
Okay, look, if she was in her 60s or 70s, I would say you got a point because by that time you can milk the cow dry. Make as many movies with the Golden Girl as you can, and
no,
then
you don't get it though.
I am.
Look at what she was into. Playboy. She was in Playboy at the time. She was also in tons of movies, adult films. Everybody benefited.
Exactly. So here's my point. So So if you wait till like she's all washed up, you milk the cow dry, then you do your little plan, then you get twice as much, 3 times as much, quadrupling because you got more movies that she's done. Instead, you do it when she's only got maybe a few movies. Wouldn't you wait till you can really?
Nope.
Instead of getting silver, you get gold. No, not even gold. You get platinum.
Nope.
Why?
Stock could plummet.
Not for the Golden Girl.
It doesn't matter. They how they look at things. It's kind of like a business decision. Okay, if you get them, if a sitcom's doing good, do you wait for them to crash, or do you get out while you're still at number one?
You ride the train. No, that's not what
you end it while you're. With Seinfeld, when they started losing, they shut it down. Home Improvement, same way. They left while they were on top while they could.
How long did Home Improvement last?
8 or 9 seasons.
8 or 9 seasons.
Of which one?
Home Improvement.
Exactly. But it was still on top. It stayed at number one all those times. But if you listen to an interview by Tim Allen, when Seinfeld quit, they quit after because he's like, we wanted to go out at number one. We didn't want to wait to start losing viewers.
But
that's why they pulled the plug.
You also ride the wave.
I'm just saying, Hollywood is no different than any major corporations. It's all about checks and balances and money. If they can see a potential of making more money, even if they have to sacrifice an actor, they'll freaking do it.
Yeah, but you want to.
If that one dies, can we make more money? Yeah. Let's do it.
Now, with that actress, you won't.
Hmm.
You can't.
You don't think they did? You don't
Yeah.
think they made millions off of her death? She was in every tabloid. She was on every news station. You don't think they made any money after she's death? You are mistaken. Her
Not
clothing threw off the shelves. Her movies went through the roof. Her Playboy magazines, I guaranteed, sold out. They made tons of money off of her in just one day, which is probably more than they ever made of her being alive.
and how much money are they making on her today?
They're still selling her shirts and people are still buying them up.
But if she was
Because
still,
and look right now, we're talking about her. More advertisement for them. They're still going to make money as long as people are talking.
but what? How much money could they have made if they kept her active for an extra 20 years?
Not near as much as they would have in one day. See, they're greedy. It's all about, can I get it now? Why wait?
No, they would have still made all that in one day. It just would have taken them a little longer. And think about
Exactly.
it.
But why wait?
Because
A
the
dollar,
inflation,
a dollar earned is a dollar earned. They don't care how they get it.
because the inflation of the dollar would have given them more money. As you said, she was worth $200 million, right? $200 million with her gross world movies. If they waited, $200 million equivalent to today is $2.3 billion. That's 1,000% of an increase that they could have had if they waited a little longer. So if you're correct, then the problem with Hollywood is they're too short-sighted.
Hold on. They made, after her death, 7.8 million
Yeah.
in one damn day.
And how much do you think that would have made if they waited till
How
today's
much do you? She probably wouldn't have been alive today's income, but they didn't care. It was all about what they could get then. 7.8 million, that's a lot of fucking money for being back then in the 60s.
Mm.
She was only worth 2 million at the time. They more than doubled what she was worth.
200 million. She was worth 200 million.
And they pretty much, like I said, well, yeah, that's closer than that. So estimated celebrity net worth estimated was worth around 800 at the time of her death, which is
And
around
how much of
7.8
that?
million today.
And how much of that had to go to her or her family? Ever heard of the term
It
royalties?
said here Lee Strawberg, the actor studio legend Lee Strawberg, and his second wife.
Because she had 3 husbands.
No children.
No children, but she had 3 husbands.
Ex-husbands.
If they had a royalty on her.
Wow.
There's no ex.
And the plot thickens.
No, there's a lot of actors out there who have to pay their ex-spouse money even today in what's it called? Not royalties. What did you know about? Would you still have to pay your wife even after years after your divorce?
I don't know.
That
I don't know if they have that.
Wow. Oh my gosh, man. The plot thickens. Yeah. So, in her will, 75% of her physical property and IP rights to her acting coaches, actor studio legend Lee Strawberg and his second wife Paula, who would die in 66. Lee married Anna a year later. With Lee's death in February of 82, Hannah inherited all of her estate. her acting coach. So, the one person to gain everything was her acting coach. I don't know much about him. As far as rabbit holes go, man, it's really bizarre to me. I mean, what do you think?
That's Dark Angel. I'm kind of out.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
I mean, I do. I find it kind of weird that I think what makes it hard for me to honestly believe that any of this is suicide is the fact of her close ties with the president at the time. Close ties in Hollywood. Like, it seems like everybody had something to benefit off of her as far as her disappearance. But if it wasn't for money, like you say, then what the hell was it for? Information, lack thereof information, or spreading conspiracy theories, kind of like what's going on right now. Until they find that diary, I guess none of us will ever know.
Oh, that diary is either in a vault or burned.
Oh, I'm guaranteed if it was CIA, it's burned. No doubt. That's done. Guaranteed done. They're not going to release that. No. So switching gears here. I haven't checked on our Idaho area lately.
Back to that one, are we?
Yeah, see what's up on there. So they're still back on that. Still fair trial questions. So yeah, I mean, the whole case is weird. Kohberger's weak alibi and no weapons. So I'm still waiting to find out about the so this is the one I'm focused on. This is weird coming from CNN because they don't like posting facts here. And this is their headline. May I add? This is experts will testify Brian Kohberger's cell phone was outside of Moscow on the night of the murders, defense says. So that's kind of weird that CNN would even post that because they don't like sharing the truth. 2/3 of the time.
Mm-hmm.
According to this, his attorney says, and the defense plan to offer a cell phone tower radio frequency expert to particularly corroborate this account. Court document supporting an alibi defense filed Wednesday shows Kohberger was driving around south of Pullman, Washington, and west of Moscow, Idaho, as he often did to hike, run, or see the moon and stars. Attorney says it's in a document. The two towns are about 10 miles apart. More information on Kohberger's location will be shared after prosecutors provide discovery evidence previously requested, the document says. Due to the wide-ranging gag order, prosecutors, defense lawyers, and attorneys for victims, families, and witnesses are prohibited from saying anything publicly, aside from what is already in the public record. The filing is the latest turn in the high-profile case against him. And they did say that he does plan on presenting the alibi as part of his defense.
Good. That's good, I think.
Yeah, but I just don't know if it'll be enough, or the judge will be like, well, we can't use the cell phone towers. But yet you used them to say he was there. So here's a question now that I have for you, Ghost.
Hmm.
So the cell phone towers, they said he was there, pinpointed him at the house, but yet how come the defenses found him nowhere near the house?
So you're telling me
You
two
remember,
different cell. Well, hold on.
yes, that's
You're
exactly what I'm telling you.
You're telling me two different cell phone towers puts him at two different locations.
Yeah.
Then someone's lying.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is the police, when we first started this over a year ago, we've been following this.
Right.
And me and you started this. And we read every detail of this. When they said they found him due to a cell phone tower near the location pinned his phone. And they found DNA on a knife sheath. But now the defense saying he ain't even near it. So how did they say that he was near the location when he obviously wasn't? Which now I'm starting to agree with the the defendant. Was the DNA planted?
Plot thickens?
Yeah. But can his defenders get him off of it? That's a question. That's a very good question.
Start?
They haven't even set a date. They ain't even got a location right now because the defenders are about to determine that he's not going to get a fair trial. Everybody's mindset is they're going to punish somebody. Even the judge has already said he's guilty. And the defenders are looking at it that he isn't getting a fair trial. And I can't say that they're wrong. Because as of right now, it don't look like he is getting a fair trial.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, brother. We'll know more when we get closer.
Huh?
I said we'll know more as we get closer.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because as of right now, that whole case against him is everyone's out to hang him. And if everyone's out to hang him, it ain't going to go anywhere. In my opinion, it's just going to line him up in prison and for something he may or may not even did. Because, like I said, right now, it looks like there's a bunch of lies shedding on that Idaho case that are starting to unravel on the FBI's plan. So, anybody have any new conspiracies they would like to share? Or like me to check, or have us check into while we're here?
Like what?
But please, no melons.
Don't bring that up again.
I've already passed on the juicy melons thing. That there was nothing there. And please don't bring up the bridge either.
Got some oceanfront property.
What about you, Dark Angel? You know what?
Anything else to add?
Right now, I can't think of anything.
Nope. She's kind of nodding out. She had a long day.
I bet she did. So What's the next person we should dig into? Well, I guess means we did Maryland. While we're here, we could scoop in on the JFK findings.
We are not doing the assassination of JFK.
We're not?
That's not much of a conspiracy. Everybody knows what happened that day.
The wrong guy got arrested?
Oh, boy.
What do you mean, oh boy?
That's exactly
Give
what
me
old
your
boy
thoughts.
means.
Give me your thoughts. Give me
I don't
your
have
thoughts.
any.
Come on.
I don't have any. I don't have any.
Oh, yeah, you do. You have thoughts.
I don't. Wait, hold on. So I already got into zombies and going to crash in a second. I'm shocked you're not. Really?
No, that's not a conspiracy. So, give me your thoughts on the whole assassination.
We know who did it. We got it. It's all over.
We got him. Got who? He was killed before he even got to trial for saying he didn't do it. And I guess we'll never know if he did or didn't. Well, considering most of the photos that they had around there have showed him on the ground beforehand, near the motorcade.
If you want to jump through through that, we can do it. I just need to do a little more research first.
I'm not going to go through that without my share screen because I'd be doing Googling a lot and trying to share a screen and I can't post it in comments or anywhere else. So, yeah. I mean, I guess I could post all the links to what I do find in the comments and people could search it up themselves. But honestly, where is the fun in that? Okay, so maybe next week we'll do the JFK one.
Okay.
No, definitely not. And Chief, if you are monitoring, why aren't you talking in chat? Yeah, boy. But if that's all we got, unless you have anything else.
Not really.
All right. I guess we're going to end this here. And everybody have a good night. And, yeah, I know. That case is falling apart in front of everybody. Not much to talk about. Bragg don't have shit. Lazy, which case? He's got like 4 of them going on right now. I'm still waiting for Obama's case, but that'll never happen. You know what? That's one I'll go down. You guys don't have to stay for this. I'll do this one on my own if you don't want to.
What?
Like I said, you don't have to stay with me if you don't want to.
About what?
I said I'm still waiting on Obama's trial, but that'll never happen.
Oh.
Like I said, and I'm going to get into this, and you do not have to stay with me if you don't want to. Because I'm going to read this one out loud. So, bear in mind, this is from 2010, November 8th. This is from the federal court hears arguments today challenging the administration claimed authority to assassinate Americans it designates as a threat. The Obama administration they argued before the U.S. federal court that it should have unreviewable authority to kill Americans. The executive branch has initially determined to pose a threat. That's your favorite president, Democrats, right there. That is your favorite president. Not only does the administration claim to have sweeping power to target and kill U.S. citizens anywhere in the world, but it makes the extraordinary claim that the court has no rule in reviewing that power or legal standards that apply. Let the argument begin. Ghost, go ahead. You first.
For what? What are we talking about now?
Did you not hear what I said?
About what?
You didn't even pay attention, did you?
I was paying attention, but I didn't know what the question was.
I said, let the arguments begin. Go ahead. You first.
About what? I'm not talking about that. Obama.
Oh, I am. This is their fan. This is their president. He's so good, right? He's such a great leader.
I don't even know because I don't have access to the comments right now, so I don't know what.
Oh, no one's saying anything. This was me. Chief wants to talk about Trump's case, and I said, "Well, I'm waiting on Obama's case, and that's the case right there. Everybody should be wanting to hear." And that is the ACLU and the CCR challenging his administration. And this is the government lawyers made that claim in response to a lawsuit brought by the American Civil Liberties Union and the Center for Constitutional Rights, charging that the administration assorted targeting killing authority violates the Constitution and internal law. The U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia heard arguments from both sides. Not only does the administration claim to have sweeping powers to target and kill U.S. citizens anywhere. And it says here, if the Constitution means anything, it surely means that the president does not have unreviewable authority to summarily execute any American whom he concludes is an enemy of the state. Like I said, this is the people that they want in power. This is the type of people they want. Kind of sounds familiar to me, AOC. We should brainwash everybody, put them back to sleep.
Right.
We can go back to Nancy Pelosi, how we're a bunch of tyrants. Or how everybody outside of these walls don't matter. Like anyone outside of the chamber doesn't matter. Chief, you had to go political. I'm not the one you probably should have went there today. Give me 2 seconds. I can bring up George Bush Sr. if you'd like. Like I said, everybody wants to talk about Trump's evil dealings when he was president. Obama did worse. I don't see his list of stuff going on to the Supreme Court. I don't see him getting defamation lawsuits, sexual aggression lawsuits. Hell, even Bill Clinton didn't get this many. Come to think about it, since Bill Clinton, I don't remember any president ever getting in trouble afterwards. Until now. Crazy, isn't it, how history repeats itself?
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got for today. I'm done ranting.
Great.
You got anything to rant about, Ghost? We can switch it over.
No, I'm tired. I had a long ass day too.
All right. We're going to end it here. Everybody have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. What's 2 hours of it? And we will see you guys again here soon. Hi, I'm Insidious. Thanks for watching this podcast.
This is the Ghost, and thank you for watching our podcast.
And I am the Chief. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.